Your past lives have some advice for how you can overcome anxiety, fears, and phobias in this current life. So stick around if that sounds good. Hi, my name's Kelsey. I'm an intuitive guide, and today I am pulling some cards for the collective from the Past Life Energy Oracle deck. The beauty of past lives is that they are rich with wisdom and rich with lessons that we can carry forward into our life now to ensure that we are on our best, brightest, and most abundant pathway forward. So let's get into this reading. Keep in mind this is a general collective reading, so please use your discernment. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. In any case, I'm grateful you stopped by today. Let's get into this. I called on the wisdom of our past lives, and I wanted to see a strength that we could carry forward. But I opened with the intention, I asked our past lives, who is coming across this? Who is the collective that this reading is serving? And we got the card phobias. So those of you who this is reaching, you may suffer with anxiety, you may have phobias, maybe you have, and phobias, we have a picture of snakes, we have spiders, we have a vulture, we have open water, we have fire. You may have a fear of any of these, but this might be just a fear of moving forward, a fear of being seen, anxiety about speaking your truth. So this is actually a very broad audience that we're speaking to in this reading. So let's get into this further. We're going to call on our past lives for a strength that we need to pull forward, okay? So in order to overcome our anxieties, our fears, our phobias in this life, we're going to call on our past lives to see what skill, talent, or ability was fully developed. Okay, wow. Okay, expressive talents. So I feel like in a past life, you might have been a creative, and creative is very broad, right? We have a piano there, we have books, we have a pen, we have an easel where they're going to be painting or doing art. Music might be important to you, art, fashion. But in a past life, you were incredibly creative and you mastered your expressive talents. So you made a living off of it, the arts. You might have been revered. You may have been a famous musician, a composer. You may have been a famous painter, but there was something very creative. And it's almost like, I feel like with that phobia card we first got, by you expressing your talents and expressing your creativity and perhaps monetizing it or making it your main source of your living and your maybe it's something maybe not your living, but maybe it's something you undertake as a serious passion, right? And then we have Archangel Raphael, we have love, healing, miracles. What I'm seeing here in this past life, your expression of talents brought love, healing, and miracles to other people. You moved people. And this is a skill that wants to come back in this life. So this is something you've mastered, but this is something that will be very, it's almost like your soul will remember this skill. And many of you are creative. So whether you like music or art or whatever, all the things I mentioned, dance, maybe you create things, maybe you're an author, but that creative spark wants to come forth even more in this lifetime. Not saying that you're not already doing it, but this is something that you mastered in the past that is going to bring love, healing, miracles into this lifetime, much like it did the last time. I'm really seeing that green color there, the heart chakra. Really important that you connect with your heart chakra, but bringing these skills, the expression of talents, and by expressing those talents, you are bringing that healing, that love, right? That is going to help you overcome anxiety, the fear of being seen. It's by expressing your creative talents. Now we know that your expressive talents were something that you mastered in a previous lifetime, and something that wants to come forward now. Why did this ability fade, or why was it unused between lifetimes? Whoa. I gotta get that, just a second. All right, so I got the card. It says abandonment. So why this gift of using your expressive talents, why it maybe went unused or faded, was feelings of abandonment, feelings of unworthiness, rejection. So Perhaps in one lifetime you mastered this, but in another, maybe you felt ostracized, or maybe people said, you can't make money doing that. Raise your hand if someone has told you you can't make money doing what you love, right? But that feeling of abandonment, of feeling unworthy, or feeling like your gifts, you couldn't live into your gifts as much as you wanted because of unworthiness or maybe rejection, right? So that's why that gift has kind of laid dormant. And in this lifetime, that's something that you're working through, is knowing that you are worthy of doing what you love, expressing yourself and bringing your talents to the people in order to bring love, healing, miracles, and overcome maybe a fear of being seen. Maybe it's an anxiety of moving forward, right? Or a anxiety of feeling unworthiness or rejection. So we are going to finish off with how we're going to ask our past lives how we can safely, consciously bring this gift back into our lives, this gift of expressing talent. Wow. Okay, shaman, very interesting. Number 12, healing energy. I'm going to read the booklet for this one. I feel like it needs more explanation. So, like I said, I wanted to read this because I think it needs a richer definition here. So, shaman, healing energy. This card indicates past life pursuits and healing. There have been many modalities of healing throughout the ages. Most indigenous people had medicine men and women who were in charge of the ceremonies that brought health to individuals and to their group. People have worked with herbs and other natural remedies throughout the ages. Even astrology at one point was an important part of the healer's approach. So if you find yourself being called to these or other modalities, you have certainly engaged in something similar in a past life. Your soul remembers those experiences and is excited to relive them in some way. Even if you don't choose healing as a profession, you may feel gratified in personally pursuing one of the many practices available today, such as Reiki, energy medicine, essential oils, nutrition, naturopathy, and many more for your own personal use. This card is also heralding a time of personal healing and cleansing coming your way, whether through alternative or mainstream medicine. Resolving a physical problem is likely at this time. In fact, this card reveals the potential for greater health and balance in many areas of your life. You have the power to heal right now, and you have the experience of lifetimes to guide you to the optimal health and happiness you desire. So the karmic shift here, it's time to awaken the healer within. Not only do you have the memories of past life curative powers, but you have the light and vibrant flow of divine consciousness moving through you. First, focus on healing yourself. Become more conscious of any imbalance in your thoughts or behaviors. Choose foods, movements, and activities that honor you as you weave these self-loving choices into your life. Exploring the healing modalities that call to your heart. Even the simplest technique could make a wonderful difference. It could open your history and bathe you in the light of eternal healing. Beautiful. So if you feel called to a certain modality, I'm getting like big heart chakra. I feel like your heart chakra is what needs your attention the most. And then your throat. That's another message I'm getting. My throat's kind of tightening as I'm saying this. So absolutely, that is a message. And maybe energy work you do on yourself. Maybe there is a shaman in your life. Oh, the sun just hit the card. That is gorgeous. But maybe there's someone in your life that does energy work, and maybe you need to learn it as well. But to overcome any phobias and fears, the fear of being seen, to express your talents in this life, to bring love, healing, and miracles. Look at that. Archangel Raphael has that heart chakra glowing. It's time to awaken your inner shaman and, maybe find a healing modality that works for you in order to work through any issues or any fears that you have surrounding expressing yourself. Love that. So the affirmation for this is, I am healed by the love and light of divine consciousness, and I can bring that healing energy to others in my life. Wow, that leads back to that Archangel Raphael card. So we have the shaman card, energy healing, and then we have Archangel Raphael. So I feel like the color green is going to be really important. Love, healing, and miracles. Love that for us. That is a beautiful message. So if this resonates, why don't you leave me a green heart in the comments, okay? A green heart. If you feel called to book a reading with me, this is where you can find me. And every Wednesday, starting on January 28th, my beautiful friend Heather and I of Shadow and Shine will be hosting our podcast called Tarot Tales. It is on TubeU. So tune in 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday, and we'll be doing astrology, cards, readings, talking about our spiritual experiences. So I hope you tune in. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.